Welcome to Vanguard Tactics. I'm your host, Stephen Box, and we are now up to day 47 of Lockdown Live. So if you're interested in Warhammer 40k, then you're in the right place, because every single day at 6 o'clock, I go online and answer your 40k related questions. Now, I support all of the ways to play the game, whether it's the hobby, or more narrative, but I do have a bit more of an inclination towards the competitive side of the gaming. That's what I really enjoy, and it's kind of my mission to help everything along that side. I really want to empower people to have a really good mindset around competitive play, and for me, it's all about having, that a great attitude and to become an ambassador for fair play and sportsmanship at the tabletop, and that's really what I want to encourage absolutely everybody to adopt as well, along with trying to help you guys become better tactical or better tacticians, so to speak. So today, what have I been up to? I have been working on the academy. So I've redone the introduction module now, so I've got some really nice elements to that, explaining how all of the daily lessons work. So if you're currently watching and you're an academy student, then make sure probably tonight will be ready, or by the morning here in the UK, module 1 will be completely redone, and you'll see how it looks revamped. And then it's the basically my chance to then go over and do all the other aspects as well. And then tomorrow I'm going to be working and getting finished the how to prepare for an event module, which will go on the academy tomorrow. So that's what I've got planned for that. And then today as well, I did a little bit of painting in the garden. So just sort of took some miniatures out there with some paints, got some stuff done in the sun. Finished off my apothecary, which came out quite well, this conversion I did. This is an incursor model with a granite sort of fist, but I had to glue it onto a reaver arm. And there we go, look, kind of try, there we go, it's nice and focused now. Gave him an intercessor pistol. This was actually a bit off my old apothecary that broke, so I put that on. That worked quite well. So yeah, he came out pretty decent, I think. It's trying to get in focus there, isn't it? It's trying to get in focus. So yeah, kind of happy with him. Now, this ain't perfect, but it's just a clean tabletop standard, which is exactly what we want. And then I also did a little bit more on my eliminators and suppressors. They're still just doing all the gold trims, take ages. And then I worked on this little beast as well. So I'm just trying to get it so the light doesn't shine. But yeah, there we go. Look. So it came out all right. And then I'm going to do a satin varnish on everything. I've got to wash down the silvers and the golds, but I've put the tracks on, sort of painted those up, and I'm quite happy with how the blues come out. So the old Scorpius. So yeah, that's kind of what I've been working on today. A little bit more progress. I'm just trying to get paint on my brush every single day. And speaking of brushes, I've got some new. So Artist Opus was incredibly kind to send me some new brushes. So I'm going to show you what I've got. So I've got a set here, and these are the Artist Opus brushes. I've been given a 0. You can't see the writing on there, but that's a 0. So the brush tip is quite small, which is quite nice. That's the smallest one. And then I've also been given a number 1 as well. So I've been using the number 1 for most things. I can try and compare these together. So there we have, look. So that's the 1 next to the 0. So I'm trying to, there we go. It's a little bit better in focus now. So yeah, I find the 1 in the 0. This is the S series. So outstanding brushes. I've got some of these before, and I've just felt like they've lasted me a very, very long time. We're talking, they've lasted me over a year actually, the old ones. So very, very good investment, I would say. I'm still getting used to the dry brush ones, and still need to, refine my stippling and all that other kind of stuff. So yeah. S series, definitely rate those from Artist Opus if you're looking for some cool brushes. Yeah, absolutely. So, who have we got in the chat? We've got Brian, Henrik, Highland, Wayne, Joaquin, Robert, Halsey, how you guys doing? So Brian said he needs to teach me Guild Ball. No, Brian, I'm not playing Guild Ball, okay? I'm just playing 40k. I'll play 40k and COD. That's it. They're my combos, alright? Can't be doing mixing up the brain with anything else. I don't have much brain power as it is. I need to make sure it's focused. Alright, okay. Craig made it live, first time in a few days. Thanks for keeping up with this every day. Well, Craig, I've been waiting for you to come back, mate. To be honest, you know, I've been doing it just for you. That is it. No, I appreciate you coming back though and watching live. I really do. And thanks for the kind words. Genuinely, it really means a lot. Brian says the apothecary looks excellent. Yeah, thank you very much. Miss homework. So thanks, Mr. Box. Yeah, that's it. Stephen Carpenter, evening. How you doing, mate? Hey, Stephen, do you typically load out your Harlequin, or how do you typically load out your Harlequin troop squads? So I've just been going for caresses everywhere. Now, I'm tempted. Basically, my number one tip, okay? And this tip can be used for a few different ways. If you're a new player, or if you're running lots of the same things like I am in mine, so I'm running 8 exactly the same units. I keep them all the same weapons, and the reason for that is just so that I can get very, very good at knowing what my units can do. Okay, so that's really important. Once you've really mastered that, you just, because of the amount of like repetitions you get in with that unit, it's not just in every game, but it's in every phase of every game, and it's multiple phases in a game, you know? So if I use 8 squads all with the same loadout, all in the same number, every time I hit combat, you know, I'm going to get anywhere from like 5 to 8 sort of experience or repetitions with what that weapon can do. So I keep them all the same. Now, if I feel like the meta's going to change, I'm going to replace it, but at the moment I'm going for I think it's the Caress, which is strength 5, -2, 1 damage. Now, if the meta changes, I'm going to put them all to kisses instead. Okay, so we'll see what happens. And then when I get real good, then I will maybe mix and match some, but I need to knowing my army inside out before that point. Greg Winner said, for practice ITC games, how many terrain pieces should there be and how many of them should block line of sight? It completely depends on the tournament, okay? But I would typically go for, and this is what I've been working on with Foreground Publishing, so more on this coming very, very soon, guys, but I've got some huge announcements that we're just on the dawn of, okay, in terms of terrain. So if you're interested in getting your hands on some competitive terrain, then stay tuned, because I've got your back, okay? Really have. I've got some really exciting plans coming. Anyway, look for, you know, some corner ruins that all block line of sight, maybe a couple of large L's, and then all maybe like an enclosed ruin or something, but typically like that. A couple of large L's, L-shaped ruins, some smaller ones. Yeah, and you should be good to go. Is a sort of minimal expectation, all right? Robert said, Army Painter of a great range. Yeah, haven't checked those out, the brushes, so to speak. So I've only normally used Games Workshop ones or the Artis Opus ones since I got put onto those. So Stephen says, agree with the brush recommendation. I have little skill, but they make it easy to paint. Artis Opus are great. Yeah. Callie killed Nox Gaming. Do you think it's worth it to supplement your death company with some Vanguard vets so they can soak up the damage with the storm shields? So, Callie, in my Blood Angel list, I run 8 Vanguard veterans. So the RTT in which I won, I had in that list, I had 8 Vanguard veterans in that list. So I had 2 Thunderhammers in there, 2 Fists. And this is a modified list compared to the one that I'd sent out a while ago that a lot of people have been copying, because I like to, you know, keep things mixed up so people are always one step ahead or one step behind where I am. So if people are meta copying my list, then I'm still one step ahead. So, but you're thinking along the right lines there. I've actually made even more changes since that one to the Blood Angel list. Obviously, I just haven't had the time to practice with it yet, unfortunately. Highland Felix, very random one. Are tarantula sentry guns with las cannons viable as a fast attack choice and for only 60 points each now to complete brigades for Space Marines or Blood Angels? Well, not for Blood Angels because that is just a waste, really. Yeah, they're not going to do anything. They may be viable because they only hit on 4s, I think, and only against the closest type of unit. They're very situational. They're okay, I think. I think the heavy bolter ones are okay, and I think they're okay in Imperial Fists. But apart from that, I wouldn't really bother. Yeah, really wouldn't bother. I'd be more tempted to put in some attack bikes, actually, because then at least you can hide them, they can move to grab objectives, and they're roughly the same points. Just put a heavy bolter on them. They're a little bit tougher, toughness 5, so yeah, a little bit better, I think, the attack bikes. Connor Given, when do you think 9th edition will drop and we will have to buy all new codexes again? I don't think so. I think it will just be there's a lot of talk of this 9th edition, but there might not even be one. Literally, I don't know where all this speculation of 9th edition has come from. Is it just that it's kind of like the clock that every so many years Games Workshop brings out a new edition? I don't know, but in my opinion, it doesn't need to change, so I wouldn't bother. If I was Games Workshop, I would just keep it the same. If I was to make any changes to the rulebook, it would just be to simplify a few things, to streamline some of the wording, but apart from that, I think all the codexes, and I really hope that all the codexes last. Yeah, I really genuinely do. So, and I mean, from my perspective, I'm not too worried because if it does change, because a lot of my academy content is all about game theory anyway, and how do you look for different strategies on the tabletop. So even if there are changes to the rules, I'm really glad that I've kind of future-proofed my academy because it's all about how to actually maximize usage of tactics rather than individual rules. Okay, so I'm quite pleased about that because I kind of expected it would change at some point. Geep Horn Trisol, I'm sorry if I've butchered your name, by the way. Hi, what do you think about souping Space Marine chapters, especially Blood Angels and other chapters? Well, I wouldn't soup Blood Angels, just wouldn't do it. I could maybe see some, if I was to ever soup Blood Angels, it would only be with Deathwatch, and that's it. Because I feel like Deathwatch add a nice little few aspects to Blood Angels. I'm just going to get rid of this a second. Oh. Being blinded by the lights. So yeah, I may soup that, but I probably wouldn't do much other soupage, to be honest. I just like running really thematic armies, and I think for some of the factions, like it, especially Ultramarines are too good to get. Their super doctrine's too good to ignore, I think. So I would definitely keep them. Yeah. But yeah, I mean, you know, you can do stuff with like Raven Guard and Deathwatch. They could be a cool little combo. What else could you do? Like Iron Hands work great by themselves. Yeah, Fist work. You don't really necessarily need to soup so much because they're all so competitive anyway now. There's such great variety in the game. Is it a bad idea to throw solitaires in Grey Knight Paladins with the Rose Relic? Low AP but flat damage 3. You know, you'll be lucky to kill a couple. You know, that's you're going to waste the solitaire. Really is a... People are far too aggressive with him. I find I will save my solitaire until maybe turn 4. Turn 4, 5 and 6, he'll go crazy then. Because it's one of those things that, you know, I'll put the solitaire in combat when I know there's not much that can kill him, or they don't have enough to really hurt the solitaire, and then he can really move around and just kill characters. That's really what he's he's in the list for. He's kind of like the Harlequin sniper. Yeah, think of him as a death jester, and yeah, you're going to be better off using him that way. JW, the only two things I would see changed is tank armor, as they most are very bad outside of mini buffs and other shenanigans and morale. Yeah. Ben, do you think we need to consolidate the rules at least, so maybe an 8.5? Yeah, I mean, that could just like a trick, like I said, it's a bit of a streamline it, but in terms of principles, I don't think we need to change too much, really. Wacky Wookie said, YouTube lied to me and said you pushed your live back to 9 PM your time. I've missed most of the first live I've been able to catch in a while. Well, I don't know why it did that. I'm really sorry if that's the case. I'm playing around with some new settings, so I don't know if it would have said that or not. But anyway, I will never move it. Okay, I'll never move it. It'll always be at 6 unless I post on the community thread and I post separately. Okay, but it's going to be at 6 every day, guys. I've done it for 47 days now. Unless something horrible happens, it ain't going to be changing. All right. Highland Phoenix. Yeah, I was looking at the attack bike in the same way. Yeah. Or in any advice for people who lean towards lore when it comes to building an army for competition, or is the idea dead on arrival? Absolutely not. I mean, I would actually say my Blood Angel list is very thematic. It's pure Blood Angel. I've got loads of cool characters. My Ultramarines list is very thematic. Same with my Grey Knights, my Harlequins. Like, you just need to understand how to read a codex properly and what to look for in that. So I'm a big advocate of pure faction armies. All right, I don't like, I can use a bit of soup if I feel like it fits, but for me, I love the name characters. That's what I love about it. Or I love about the game anyway. So on the board over here, like with my Ultramarines, I run Calgar because he's super cool. Sometimes I put Tiggy in, or I put Chief, what's his name? Cassius in, the chaplain. So I'll use those characters, but then build the army around them so it all works in harmony together. And then I'm going to want that army to play like it should on the tabletop. Or I want the army to play on the tabletop like it does in the lore. So, for me, the Ultramarines work like Spartans, right? They've got that Roman military, like the tortoise, where one guy protects the next to his right. So then having my whole army that can all heroically intervene, overwatch for each other, literally is that embodied, right? It's like that tortoise, like the left man, protecting the guy on his right. And that's what it's all about. So, yeah, absolutely, you can be competitive. And also, it's just the more you play test, the more you learn about the game, look into, exactly, this is exactly what my academy's, built for. So, yes, it's all to help for that. What have we got here? Stephen, do you think a Blood Angel Impulsor with Intercession Rush list with a bunch of Smash Captains could work well? I mean, it could, but I wouldn't. Yeah, I don't even like Smash Captains. I don't like Smash Captains. Yeah, I've used them, played with them, and I just don't like them. Gregwin said, hey, I see Vanguard Tactics is monthly. How long would you recommend signing up for? Is it something to budget in a long-term addition to your game? So yeah, it is monthly, or you can pay for the entire year up front, where you get all of the modules, full access. Now, basically, it's designed to be a year-long course, okay? So a 12-month program, but we've had plenty of people that have signed on for much longer than 12 months now, who want to stay part of the daily lessons in the community. So it's one of those things that the meta is always changing. Like, I go live every single week to help you with your list and give you help if you're going to a tournament and things. So but there is literally well over 12 months worth of content in a year's course. So really it's a case of there should be a video per week every single week, but there's loads more than that, and there will be, especially now I'm redesigning the course as well and adding so much more into it. So yeah, it's up to you whether you perceive that as something that's valuable to you. But give it a try. You can always cancel if you don't like it. If you don't feel like it's for you, you can cancel at any time. Okay, I don't want anyone to ever feel like that they're part of it and they don't want to be. So you just cancel. There's absolutely no hard feelings whatsoever if you don't find it's for you. And the links for the course are in the description below, so you can go and check that out. So yeah, get signed up. Jump in with the daily community tasks, the daily lessons that are going on every single day. We've then got the Discord chat as well. So yeah, it's a fantastic community. It's building every single day at the moment. It's going in there crazy, really. And there's only going to be 200 spaces available on the course in total. Okay, then I'm going to cap it basically. And that's just so that I can make sure I'm keeping up to date with absolutely everybody and I'm answering everyone's questions. Neil Marshall, what is the main thing to think about when creating a Chaos Army Black Legion? I mean, that is a very, very long answer, I think, when it comes to looking at the Black Legion. To be honest, I haven't really found much that stands out in a really good way for the Black Legion. I don't know, is it a case of that's just... Neil, are you completely tied to the Black Legion, or are you thinking like you could go in other directions with other Chaos factions? Let me know. But what's your goal as well? Is it a case of you just want to play with your mates and that's as far as you want, or do you want to take the Black Legion to a competition, or is it a case of you want to do as well as you can at a competition? Because there are three different goals there, okay? And it's really hard to give you that advice without knowing what the end goal is, which is why I run for the Academy, by the way. I've got the VIP option, which you get a one-on-one coaching call with me, so we can go over this stuff. I want to find out exactly where you're at, what you want to achieve, where you want to go, and then I can help you with your list, how you deploy it, the tactics you should be employing when you're at the table, so you can really kick off the course with a really good head start. And then obviously every single week when we do the catch-ups, I can relay back my feedback to you specifically, because obviously we had that conversation, and there's only 5 VIP tickets or passes that are available per month, and for the month of May they've already sold out. So if you want to get on the waiting list for June, shoot me an email, Stephen@vanguardtactics.com, and just say you want to get on the VIP waiting list. Like I said, you pay for the course up in full. You actually save 2 months as well, so you save $80 and you get that one-on-one call as well. And it will be first come, first serve. But all of April sold out within a week, and then all of May sold out within 3 days. So yeah, I'm going to start the waiting list now for June for the VIP passes. Highland Phoenix Law, I think we need 20 mins, not 20 mins. I'm not sure what you mean. 20 mins, not 20 mins. 20 hours maybe of chatting about 40k. I'm going to wrap up soon anyway, but as I'm getting to the end of the questions, what could be a good alternative to Vanguard veterans in a Blood Angel list? Something fast but more durable. Simone, I mean, yeah, Joaquin's got it right. Sanguinary Guard, they're my go-to. Although they're actually... Sanguinary Guard are an elite, so they're not a fast attack option. But they are a good alternative to Vanguard veterans. So yeah, I would probably look to do that. Sanguinary Guard, Death Company hit so much harder, but I mean Vanguard veterans are really durable, but in their own way. So they've just got a different type of sort of durability that the other army doesn't have, because they can all take a storm shield. That's where you build that in. And then you can get them the 5-up Feel No Pain as well when they're within 6 of the banner. JW White Scars, as that army is a bit more of an all-round combat army, it's a bit tricky to think out your army. Go with heavy shooting, melee, or more balanced approach. Melee all around is my thought. The thing with the White Scars, they they're okay in combat, but they're not incredible. They don't do combat as well as, for example, Blood Angels, and they don't shoot as well as Iron Hands, or they don't shoot as well as Imperial Fists, and they don't have the same sort of level of durability like Ultramarine builds or maybe Salamanders. So yeah, I think White Scars are in a bit of a tricky position, really. But they can do very, very well. And I think if I was playing a White Scars army, what would I do? I'd probably go for a very well, like a real tricksy list where I've got tools for different stuff, and that would take 3 months to get really, really good with, is refining that list. But yeah, very toolboxy list that can play in every single phase of the game. I'm probably not going to ever table anyone, but I'm probably never going to get tabled either. I'm never going to get the huge bonus points like 42s in games, but I should have a good answer to most things, and that's probably how I would build the White Scars list, I think. Because if you try and go all out on melee, as soon as you fight a melee army that just punches harder, you're just in a lot of trouble. So yeah, you need to find out all those different synergies you can find in that codex. Right, okay, guys. I'm going to leave that there. So we've been about a good half an hour, but I will, unless there's any more questions, which I don't think there is. But guys, I'll see you tomorrow at 6 o'clock. So make sure if you haven't done so already, make sure you're hydrated. Go out for a nice walk somewhere. Make sure you're eating some plenty of healthy foods, like good lean sources of protein, some good vegetables and fruits, and try and get some exercise in, whatever that may look like for you. And also this time as well, make sure you are keeping your mental health, happy. So if you need to reach out to somebody, if you're feeling isolated, you're feeling alone, reach out to someone, okay? There are some fantastic charity organizations out there like the Samaritans, or, companies that Vanguard Tactics supports, which is Movember. And reach out to those charities if you need help, okay? So yeah, make sure you are talking. And if you're worried about somebody as well, if you feel like somebody might be vulnerable, maybe in your gaming group, somebody you haven't heard from in a while, just check in with them and just ask them how they're doing, Just reach out that sort of hand of friendship, because sometimes it's the little things that can get us through it, all right? Because it's a very difficult time at the moment. So anyway, I mean, it's exactly why I go live at 6 o'clock every day, just to reach out to you guys. And also it's why Vanguard Tactics supports Movember. So every single month I donate to Movember cause for every person that's, or since the start of, I think it was April, every person that's on the course, I donate $1 to that charity as well. So every single month I donate to that charity just to help things keep going, because mental health, physical health, for me it's 4 things. It's physical, mental, emotional, and social. There are 4 main, for me, streams of health that we need to look after, all right? So which is exactly why the Vanguard Tactics Academy, there's a lot where I talk about that in our ethos of the Academy as well, which is also now going to be in Module 1. So every single student that comes through the doors at the Academy will hopefully become an ambassador for those 4 things to help all of us in terms of our well-rounded health. So anyway, guys, stay safe out there, please, and I'll see you all tomorrow at 6 o'clock, all right? And take care.